What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. At the end of the video, I hope you subscribe. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump into the next clip.
Women and men are not equal. Women have the opportunity to do everything a man can do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we should. We are completely different biologically and energetically. We each have specific strengths and qualities that the world really needs. The problem is that our men are becoming shamed into feminization and compliance. Simultaneously, women are becoming hyper-masculine and hyper-independent. Physically, our health and our hormones are being manipulated by environmental toxins, endocrine disruptors in our homes, in our waters, in our food. Testosterone levels are decreasing rapidly and sperm count is declining. Birth control is overprescribed and infertility and miscarriage rates are rising. True masculinity is no longer embraced and we're missing this warrior spirit from our men. At the same time, our society is also lacking that feminine, nurturing, caring energy that women just naturally embody. Many people are becoming aware of this, and there is a pushback away from the narrative that's being played in the media. I laugh because the counterculture used to revolve around feminism and veganism, and now we're embracing traditional values and returning to ancestral health and wisdom.
Yo, you know what though? She right. I do agree with her with a lot of what she said, but I want to chime in specifically on the food part because, as you guys know, I am currently in Vietnam and I've been traveling overseas consistently for almost 3 months now. I did spend my first trip was in Colombia for a month back in February. And what I noticed is that when you go to these other countries and eat, even when you get like completely full, there isn't that bloated feeling that you would get if you were eating to get full back in the States. I'm not nearly as gassy as I used to be like back in the States. Now, as far as the testosterone goes, I can't really, well, let's just say I can't really say whether or not I feel a little stronger here or there or back home because as you guys know, I recently just got off of a hernia surgery when I came back from Colombia, so I really haven't been lifting like really heavy. We'll see how things go when I get back home to the States in September, but I definitely gotta agree with the food part, man. Like, the food is so much better for you, man, once you leave this country, man. I'm like, it's gonna be hard for you to adjust once you go back. Now, I know when I go back, I got my guilty pleasures, man. Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, oh yeah, that's already on my list when I get back home. All right, on to the next clip.
Dude, this nowadays dating culture has done messed me up. I've always been this like hopeless romantic, and my ex-husband was a realist, and it just didn't work out because we just couldn't figure out how to meet each other in the middle. But nowadays, trying to date now and being promised forever a couple of times and then abandoned, I find myself more of a realist. And I'm not sure that I like myself or recognize myself in this new dating culture. I'm avoidant and I'm afraid, and I feel like I'm losing that hopeless romantic side of me. I don't think I'm a fan.
The reason why you and your husband ain't work out is because you didn't want to meet him in the middle. That's why. And if you're more of a realist now, then you wouldn't have no issue with going back to your ex-husband. Let's keep it moving.
This girl on Facebook, I literally saw it this morning before I came here, and she's like, if you dealing with me, you know I have a kid, you should just know I shouldn't have to ask you for money, you should just give it to me, you know I have responsibilities. The guys were going crazy in the comments, but she was dead serious. When did we get to the point where we're not even in a committed relationship, but for some reason the man is responsible for taking care of you and someone else's child and all this other stuff? And I just feel like it's this big fairy tale world that a lot of women kind of live in, where they feel like if they end up with someone who's not their sponsor or taking care of them or, you know, letting them live this soft life, as everybody's saying, they feel like they're settling. And it's like, you're not exactly settling. You're living a reality.
See, this is a great example of why when female detractors try to shame passport bros, and they want to use this, oh, they just want you for your money tactic, it falls on deaf ears. Because you got plenty of women who are just like what she described. Y'all want everything up front with no ROI, no return on investment. Explain to me how the hell you feel entitled to have all these things paid for, and I haven't even met you yet. We haven't even finished the first date yet. But you feel entitled to hundreds of dollars for some kids that ain't mine. I'm supposed to help you take care of you and your kids. Like, seriously, these women have such a transactional mindset, yet at the same time want to sit over here and shame men that go overseas. Does that make any sense to y'all? It sure as hell don't to me. Like, there is just a certain level of greed that women in the West have, and they want to sit over here and act like that's not a thing. It's just to be expected. And if you think they ain't greedy, wait till you see this next clip, because I found this out recently. And bruh, these women are mad over this, man. Check this out.
We are strong, independent women. We don't need no man. Women also. Yeah, there's an outcry over taking away lifetime alimony. The law that the Santa signed in is a step in the right direction. It omitted lifetime alimony in Florida and says that alimony cannot exceed 1/2 the length of the marriage. But apparently these strong, independent women don't have very strong convictions in what they believe, because now they're leaving the Republican Party over this. I mean, because alimony's taken away, they'll no longer be Republicans. And if you read the little subtitle, it's a quote. My fear is that they'll take me back to court, and I don't have the money for this. Well, how do you think men have felt for years when they've been taken back to court over and over again, over child support, over custody of their children, over more alimony, over these long, extensive, financially ruining divorces? I mean, it wasn't the anti-LGBTQ laws, it wasn't the anti-trans laws, it wasn't the abortion laws, taking away their bodily choice, but take away the money that they can get off a man, and they're gonna leave the Republican Party. The greed. And their ability to just publicly say, I'm not independent. I need a man to pay my way. Well, not wanting to say it publicly. You seriously can't make this shit up. Toxic women are on full display right now.
Yeah, how do you tell on yourself without telling on yourself? That's crazy. Like, to think that unaliving babies wasn't enough, the LGBTQ wasn't enough, but when it comes to being able to get alimony, now y'all ready to say F the Republican Party. Seriously? Seriously. This is, bro, this just goes to show you the kind of entitlement women have in the West, man. God forbid, bro. And I hate to reference back to the whole Jonah Hill, Keke Palmer situation, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is how unbalanced things are in the West. Men can't even have morals and standards, but women feel entitled to your money out of alimony. Paying for dates, even though they scream we're independent and we don't need your money and we don't care about your money, but all they talk about is having a man that makes more than them and paying for every fucking thing. It's like, when are women gonna get it through their head that none of this makes sense based in the world that you're living in the West now? Because ain't these the same women that sit over here and say, you want a woman that cook and clean? This ain't the 1950s anymore. Well, if it ain't the 1950s anymore, then why are men still being held to a traditional standard? Answer that question. And they can never give you a fucking answer. It's crazy, bruh. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hitting that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm. It helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel blog channel. Unplugged Traveler link is in the description and pinned in the comments, as well as the latest merch and the latest mixtapes. All links are in the description as well. So until the next video, y'all, deuces.